Well, all right, everybody, welcome in. Come on, bring the energy, because it's time for the Sandra Show!
Welcome to the Sandra Show. Listen, this is the #1 destination for great music, a little tea, and a whole lot of inspiration. Yo, today's chit chat, it's about truth. It's about a truth too many black men know. No matter how much you achieve, your skin can still make you suspect. Our guest is an Army veteran, a retired nurse by 29, and now the CEO of an 8-figure real estate empire. Yet one morning during a jog ended with flashing lights and the words, "You fit the description." Come on. Today, he's here to unpack what it means to succeed in a world that still tries to shrink you. So I need y'all to get all comfy.
Yeah.
Grab your bubbly beverage.
Come on.
And let's get this show started. That thing is started. Woo! Y'all, we the people. Now, a fella hide your wallets and your Rolexes because we the people are concerned. All right?
What's going on?
So, y'all, the police just picked up 25-year-old Angelina Chanel Esty out of Pompano Beach, and guess what? Sis is back on the same hustle. She's drugging guys and snatching Rolexes like it's her side gig.
What?
Here's the rundown. She and a homegirl meet 2 men at a Blackbird Ordinary in Brickell. All right, the drinks are flowing, vibes are up. They all head back to a luxury apartment. By sunrise, one man's $20,000 Rolex gone, $4,000 in cash gone, even his friend's fake Rolex gone.
Stop.
When you stealing even the fake Rolexes, that's very interesting.
They don't care.
Listen, and to top it off, a $500 Cash App charge popped up. The victims barely remember a thing, and the police think that she slipped something in their drinks. Now, the cops pulled the bar's surveillance, and boom, Essie's face all on the camera, later ID'd in a lineup. And here's the kicker, if that all wasn't. This ain't her first rodeo. She already got caught in May for running the same game at high-end Miami spots like 1111 and the Fontainebleau. Come on, the Fontainebleau, girl. Now she's facing burglary and grand theft charges, sitting pretty in TGK jail. The police are warning, if you're flexing Rolexes and digital watches and digital wallets in Miami, you might just be her next target.
How? Though, because she's already locked up.
Oh, they're going to let her out. Because they're going to let her out.
Come on now.
She locked up. They're going to let her out.
Yeah.
And then, come on, how do you go back to something like that? It's so unfortunate. Listen, I hope she will get her life straight. We praying to that effect.
Better. She run around my little area.
Is she really?
You know, we had our summer vacation. You know where I was.
Yes, darling.
You know, I was right there in my other neighborhood of Brickell. So,
Yes.
you know, I'm like, oh, who is this running around here? So,
Run around. You better be glad she didn't get you.
yeah, I hold my kids a little closer next
With
time.
your little rollie and
Yeah.
everything.
Nah, that's a little
All
something.
right. All right, so let's move on, y'all. We talk a lot about success, resilience, and breaking barriers. But what happens when no matter how far you rise, the world still tries to pull you back into a box? Today's guest is a powerhouse, an Army veteran, a retired nurse by 29. And yes, as I said, he is the CEO of an 8-figure real estate empire. But even with all of that, one morning, a jog turned into a national headline when police stopped him because he fits the description. It's a story too many black men know too well, that no matter how much you achieve, your skin can still make you a suspect. Today's conversation isn't just about business, it's about survival, identity, and what it really takes to keep going when the world still tries to remind you of who it thinks you are. Joining us to unpack this conversation is the one and only Mr. Joseph Griffin. Mr. Griffin, hello and welcome.
I appreciate you for having me.
It's an honor to have you here, and I can't go any farther without saying thank you for your service.
I appreciate you.
Indeed, indeed. So, take us back to that morning. What was going through your mind the moment the cops pulled up and said that you fit the description?
You know, when I left, my wife had just had a baby, and I'm jogging, and I see the cop there. I waved at him. I'm like, yo, what's up?
Hey,
And he-
what's up, sir?
He's
Yeah.
like, yo, what's up? And I keep going, and he pulled up. I thought he was about to tell me, like, you know, good job. You're out here, you know, hustling.
yeah, doing the right
And then
thing.
he's like, hey, look, I gotta detain you because you fit the description, you know. So a whole lot of things start going on at that point with everything that we seen going on in the media at the time.
So, what was the description that you fit?
Black male, white
black.
tank top, black shorts, yeah, beard, apparently, yeah.
Is that not like common, no?
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much. Yep,
exactly.
yep.
At one point, I heard that they were profiling black men, white shirts with Air Force Ones, and I'm like, okay, we wear Air Force Ones. This is very
Black Air
interesting.
Force Ones.
The black,
Not the white ones.
I'm sorry,
The black ones.
that part.
The black one's diabolical.
Yes, it
It's
is.
diabolical.
Yes, it is.
Indeed, it is. So, how did your body respond in that moment when everything you are was reduced to a stereotype?
Initially, of course, anxiety kicked in.
Yes.
That's why I went on Facebook Live. And if I didn't go on Facebook Live, that story wouldn't have blown up. But of course, I didn't want to be another person that was killed over something, a misunderstanding, right? So anxiety kicked in, and then what was really going in through my head, he told me that a witness had to come identify that I wasn't this person. Now, you know they say all black people look alike, right?
That's what they
confused.
say.
What if that witness would have said, like, oh, that is him? And eventually, maybe I would have got off on the charges, but that's very, very life-changing either way.
Exactly. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. It's very unfortunate. As the mother of 2 black young men, it is very concerning to me. My eldest son is 37 and my youngest is 18. And the idea of someone coming up to them and saying, you fit the profile, is terrifying. So I'm so sorry you went through that. But after it was over, how many times did you replay that moment in your head thinking about what could have happened? What could have gone wrong?
A million times, but in the end, we had to turn a negative into a positive, like we
Yes.
have to do so many times in business and
Yes.
life in general. So I actually thanked God for putting me in that situation, when I've seen so many other people in that situation and they didn't handle it well, they fought back, got combative, and it did end up costing them their lives, right?
Yes. Do you think your military training had anything to do with you staying calm and being able to move through that moment with like peace and understanding? And I mean, just when you're dealing with someone with authority, it's like a different mindset when you've been trained to respect authority and give them the information that they need. Do you think that played a big role in your encounter with them?
100%. So when I was overseas in Afghanistan, I actually did some military police work. So definitely understood what was going on. And then you got to think, being overseas, we were getting bombed every night. It got to the point where, you know, we kind of laughing, hey, this might be the end. You know, when you come from there and you come back here, it's a different demeanor that you have.
We can only imagine. And again, we just love our military. Thank you so much for your service again. As a very successful entrepreneur and a veteran, you carry yourself with such confidence. But does being Black in America still make you feel like you have to constantly prove your innocence before you even speak?
Grandmother always told me that, right? Have to be 10 times better than everybody else. I was raised by grandmother. Dad was in jail most of my life, right? So grandmother said, hey, you got to be 10 times better than everybody else.
Yes.
Initially, you know, I did focus on like, man, I got to be great. I got to be great. But I do like to encourage people to just not look at race anymore. Just be the best person you can be, what God intended you to be, and overcome obstacles and just keep going.
So how do we do that when other people are looking at us because of our race? And let me say this too. I have my youngest son and my children. I never grew up, hey, you're Black. My kid came home one day and told me that a kid at school told him what color he was, because I raised my children to just love and be a part of society. Not, hey, you're Black, you're gonna face this. But one day he came home and he's like, Mom, I'm brown or I'm whatever. And it's not that we're not proud of who we are, but I just wanted him to be able to experience life without it being a color-led kind of experience for him. But he found out in elementary from one of his friends. So quickly, if you'll share with us, how do you do that when the world is constantly looking at us, telling us what color we are and where we should be?
Unfortunately, we're still there today, right? But it's going to be a generational thing. We have to, like you raised your kids to, hey, don't look at it that way. We have to start really instilling in the kids, and we got to be careful with the media and what we're watching on TV that's portraying these things. It's going to take a lot of work. And I think in the future, it won't be this way. I really do. Down the line in the future,
willing to do the work, right?
We got to do the work.
And with that being said, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't y'all go nowhere. It gets better. For the culture. Praise God. welcome back to the Sissandra Show. Y'all make some noise up in here. Indeed. I am sitting here with Mr. Joseph Griffin, who is a veteran, and he has just an amazing life-changing story about being successful and yet also being judged by your exterior. Now, I'd love to continue this discussion with you. How did the experience that you went through impact your family? If you're just joining us, you were jogging one day. Our guest was jogging one day, and a police officer stopped him and said that he fits the description while he was jogging. So I want to know now, how did that experience impact your family?
Oh man, you can ask you can ask my wife. My family went through it worse than I did.
Oh, no.
Right? Believe it or not.
I'm sure they were terrified.
They were terrified.
Yes.
I went on live. I didn't have time to call anybody, right? So jumped right on live. So people were messaging my wife, hey, your husband stopped by the cops, and some people were actually driving by on the road and they saw me there and they were stopping, yelling at the cops, let him go, right?
Wow.
So I think it had a way bigger impact on my family. Even to this day, if my wife doesn't hear from me, she's just assuming
something.
And she's not black.
Yeah.
And she's not black.
Isn't that interesting? And so she gets to see it from a different dynamic, what you really go through. And it's so important that people understand you're sharing with us that your wife is not black. Now, talk to us from that perspective. How did she start thinking and talking to you? Did that change?
Very eye-opening for her, not only for her, but understanding that we have mixed kids, right? So these are conversations, like I said, unfortunately today we are still there, and these are conversations that we have to have with our children. Hey, you can't act this way. You need to act this way. If the cops ever stop you, you need to be respectful. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. In general, but overall teaching them how to act with authority.
It's so important. I mean, we should know how to act with authority regardless of our nationality, our color, anything like that. But then it's just taken to a whole nother level when you're black or mixed. I have mixed grandchildren as well. And the conversations that we've had to have in the last 4 years since she was born have been very interesting. So when the story hit CNN about you being stopped by the cops and it went worldwide, what message did you want people to take from it beyond just your personal experience?
Emotional intelligence is probably the biggest thing. Hey, understand that this does suck, right? Yes, I've had other friends in the same situation. This does suck, but live to see another day, right?
Yes.
Calm down, believe, have faith. God didn't bring you here for this to be the end.
Correct.
Right? Have that emotional intelligence, keep your composure, show people how we do act.
Yes.
Right? We're not crazy, we're not animals. Act a certain way, have a certain
Correct.
demeanor, and live to see another day.
Correct. I love that. Live to see another day. And I know that this topic is going to resonate so much with our viewers because just like myself, just like you, we have children. We try to prepare our children for these moments. And I don't think anything can really prepare you for a moment of being profiled. It's just thinking about all the things you're supposed to do in the moment, all the things you're not supposed to do, and then questioning, why am I going through this? Like, what did I really do to be in this space? That's intense all in itself. So for the young black men watching who are tired of being seen as suspects instead of sons, fathers, leaders, what would you tell them about holding on to their worth in a world that too often denies it?
Yeah, first I would say prove yourself, but not for anybody else. Prove yourself for yourself. Understand why you're here, what's your purpose. So for me, I said, hey, I'm gonna be so successful in life that if this happens again, they're gonna know who I am.
Bam.
Jumped into real estate, started really killing the investments. We started purchasing tax deed properties, getting houses less than $3,000, and then it really blew up. And so now when the cops do see me, they're like, oh, hey,
They know your name.
The mayor knows me. Everybody
Isn't that
knows me
amazing?
at this point now. So,
Because you have to be 10 times better at the end of the day, right?
yeah.
So we must continue to strive to be 10 times better so that we can be acknowledged, so that we can be seen and respected opposed to just seen for the exterior of who we are.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
So, to our audience, there are consequences that come with skin. Not choices, not mistakes, not even actions, just skin. Our guest wore the uniform. He saved lives. He built an empire. He did everything this country tells you to do to be safe. And still, one morning, a jog ended with flashing lights and officers saying that he fit the description. That's the weight Black men in America carry. The knowing that no matter how far you climb, you can still be dragged back down to a stereotype. Before the show, we gave our guest a notebook and a pen and asked him to write to the man he once was. The one who thought hard work might protect him. The one who didn't yet know the fear of being reduced to nothing more than a shade. And today, he's writing back with truth, with grief, with survival. This is our sacred moment that we call Dear Me. Would you please?
Let's do it. All right, read it now?
Yes, please.
Dear me, everything you're going through right now is a test. Your story is going to change the lives of millions. Keep jumping over obstacles and keep becoming stronger and stronger. Your light will eventually guide the world.
Ooh, that's powerful. Your life will eventually guide the world. When you wrote to that version of yourself, what did it feel like to admit that your skin could erase everything you've achieved in a single moment?
It felt hopeful, honestly, because I'm a believer and I know we're going in a different direction,
Yes.
right? So now I want the youth, I want everybody to see like, hey, it doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to be a rapper, athlete, entrepreneur, rapper, athlete, or anything. Just because we're Black and they say we have to do these certain things, right?
Correct.
So you can be a real estate investor.
Yes.
You can be a CEO. You can, start your own business
Yes.
and be successful. So I like to look at that story as hope.
Yes, you are an inspiration to so many people, and I know it's going to inspire so many viewers who are watching today. Do you carry that jog with you still? I mean, not just in memory, but in the way you move, the way you calculate your safety in everyday life?
The military already had me
Yeah, they
doing
already
that.
did that to
Honestly,
you. I love it.
already look okay. What's going on?
Yes.
But no, honestly, I'm a big believer. Get over the obstacles, move on.
Okay.
We learn from our mistakes, and we carry ourselves a certain way. How I acted that way is how I would act in any situation. If it happens again, I'm gonna act the same way. So overall, just be the best human being that you can be, and usually things will work out in your favor.
I love that. Be the best that you can be, and usually it will work out in your favor.
I like that answer.
We did love that answer. So, for the young man right now that's watching who may feel hunted instead of free, what do you need him to know about his worth, about his future, about surviving the weight of his own skin?
We have everything that we need. God, since day one, gave us everything. So
Amen.
whatever you want to do in this world, you can do. There's going to be obstacles every single day, but the true test of your character is how you deal with those obstacles, how you overcome those obstacles. So understand that we have the power. No one's holding us back anymore. Things will happen.
Yes.
Prove to yourself and show the world who you are.
That's some great advice. Now, would you please tell us about this empire that you have built?
The real estate empire. So
Yes.
looking back, I wanted to get in real estate. I saw all the millionaires. That's what they were doing. They were buying houses. Now, at the time, I didn't have enough money, so I thought to go ahead and get in real estate. So we discovered the whole tax deed sales. Whenever you own a property, you have to pay your property taxes.
Correct.
And you don't pay those property taxes.
They will take it.
County comes, they take that property. So here I am going into auctions, buying houses for
Wow.
$500 getting property for less than $3,000.
Wow.
It was like a video game to me at that point.
Oh my goodness, a video game. That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a group of people that you have rallied around you in your company, or is this a venture that you and your wife work together on?
It's grown worldwide at this point.
Really?
So
That's amazing.
just documented the journey, and then on social media, everybody's like, hey, Tax D Wolf, can you show me? Can you show me?
You're the Tax Deed Wolf. Y'all better check it out. I love it. Look, your wife is like this over here. Come on, you better clock it. I love it. That's amazing. Now, when did you decide, or where did this big dream of yours to do real estate come from? Just from watching other people and you're like, I can do that?
I wanted what I didn't have growing up. Like I said, I was looking up to rappers, athletes, drug dealers. They had money. I thought that's what I had to do to get money. So once I discovered real estate, I said, you know what? I'm going to do this because we have to be in the sky sometimes before we can tell other people we can fly.
Yes.
So I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to kill it. And I'm going to show my family and millions of other families that there are other ways out besides working until you're 65, 70, then finally retiring. God didn't put me here to work and then die.
Amen. Amen. And thank you so much. Listen, this has been an enlightening conversation. We appreciate you joining us here. To our viewers, we know y'all can be anywhere, but y'all joined us today. We wish you a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you right back here on the Sisandra Show on Monday at 7 p.m. For the culture, get us out of here!
All right. Come on, everybody. Do this one time for me. Just scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen. Because we've got so much more exclusive content for you right here, only on the Sisandra Show.